Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. Everyone sick, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and him. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
40 keys. Oh,
I know.
Wait. Aramis, 40 keys. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, we back. Smitty in the house, of course.
What's up, everybody?
Yep. We listen. You know how we do in the off season. We don't take days off except for after the draft. Then we take days off.
We might. You never know. We'll see how this goes. We're not on time. We don't never stick to our words. We might actually do shows. We don't know. That's all I like to say about that. What's up, Kev? What's up?
We never on time. We don't stick to our word. That is a very bad.
That's the tagline. All salt, no sodium, no tag, no. We on CP time. All that's good stuff. But anyway,
jeez, that is not the best way to sell ourselves to radio stations. Come on.
That's true. But you know what a good way is?
What?
For you to tell them about us.
Yes. Somebody call your local radio station and be like, "Have you heard of these Post Podium Podcast dudes?" That's what we need.
Have you heard?
Some word of mouth. That'd be great. What's going on, Tommy? Who else we got up in here? Billy D. What's going on? CPT. I mean,
Daquan, Laura.
It's here. It's here.
It's all in there.
What up, Laura? What up, Videsh? All right. So I kind of want to start us off with a question, if I could.
You can.
Unless you have anything burning right now.
No, I just had a funny story, but go ahead.
Let's go with the funny story.
It has nothing to do with football. But
Nothing to do with football? Well, we should probably start with that then.
Yeah. I don't know if you're at this stage yet, because you have 3 kids. I have just one, and you have one older than mine, 2 older than mine. Mm-hmm. But today, I took a half day so King could play his game. I spent some time with him, and so he's in there. He's playing Red Dead. He's singing a song. Remember As Yet last night? Remember that song?
Yes. It really?
He's singing that song, and for you guys that don't know,
he's already you.
Yes, but he's singing last night. I was inside of you, and he's just singing it like nothing's wrong, and he has no idea what it means. Like, he's not thinking, putting 2 and 2 together. He saw the river. He's like, I cried because it was so beautiful. Doesn't know what any of it means. He's just going to town on it. And, like, you don't want to say too much. You don't want his mind to. So it's like, in my mind, I'm just chuckling away. I'm like, wow. When he gets older, I'm going to tell him all the weird stuff he did. There's so many things I can tell him when he gets older.
I know, Dad. I know.
You're right.
I did it, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
No, I mean, you know what? I have to say, like, I'm starting to, like, Junie. You already know. Yeah. I already know.
Yeah.
But Allie and Ray is coming out so much more now than I thought it would be like in their teenage years, right? But little subtle things, you know what I mean? Like, for you, music is such a big deal, and old school music is a very big deal.
Big deal.
You know, for me, it's. So my daughter. So before I came here today, and this is a prime example, right? This is a prime example. My daughter is very. How can I put this? She's very creative when it comes to working out situations to her benefit, right? And so she gets a real kick out of jump scares, right? And namely, me catching jump scares. Okay, so we're playing this game called Piggy, and for those of you with young children, you should know what Piggy is. It's a Roblox game.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this Piggy game, you have to go through these boards, and you're trying to find keys to unlock doors, and you go through the series of finding keys to unlock doors so that you can escape the building, whatever place you're in. And she she invites us to this game, and she sets the board up so that the board we're playing on is like there's a lot of tight spaces, not a lot of space to move around.
Right.
Then she picks this swarm option, which employs multiple piggies that are all coming to kill us. Right? So it's like one after another. We got like 6, 7 piggies just walking around this board looking for us, and it's only like 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's me, Ray, and Allie.
Mm-hmm.
And she ends up dying first. Right. And like I felt bad because I'm like, man, she usually lasts to the end. And, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just in there running around looking for stuff. Right. And eventually I'm the last one left.
Now you're really spending.
So now I got this key and I'm talking to Ray, and he had just died. And I'm like, oh, shoot. So now I'm running around trying to figure out what to do. And I get into this one space, and I look across, and there's like 4 piggies all there standing there waiting for me. And there's one clown piggy behind me chasing me. And I just let out the biggest scream, like, ah! I'm like, where am I going? What am I doing? I know where to go. I'm freaking out now. And she loved every second of it.
Of course she did.
And she planned it from the beginning. I was like, that's why you put Swarm on there. And she gave me her, she has this like little evil face, and she goes like that. She knew exactly what she was doing, but that's stuff that you've seen me do. Like,
yeah.
I'll set it up to my benefit if I can. You know what I'm saying?
To a guy that outplayed Saints Row one time. Every time I turn around, he's gone. But I see sticky bombs attached to everything. It's just pow, 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 pow. And then he's like, watch it. Pow, 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 pow. I'm like, what are we doing here? What's going on? Yeah,
I want to actually play the game. You blowing people up.
I thought we had a mission. Nah, don't worry about that. We doing this.
14 sticky bombs on a person. See how high in the air I can get them.
I'm like, how's he doing? And Ken does the same thing.
Yes. I need to see this.
So yeah, Daquan, honestly, I want to put this up just because everybody can't see it, but it's important. Being a dad is so important, guys. Almost 50% of black children live in a mother-only household in America. That's true and sad. But, by virtue of what we've been through, we can shift the paradigm.
No doubt.
We can shift the paradigm. And Boo, whose butt are we on? We on the way of old. Mother-only households, that's what we're on today. No.
And to answer your question, Boo, yes, you can call in today.
He's primed and ready.
Yeah, all right.
Nope, you can't, because this don't work. I'll never forgive you for that.
So mad. He was so mad.
We were just talking to him. Man, this don't. You cut me off with that. It does work if you just hold on 1 second. But yeah, you can call in there. It's all good. We got you. Let's see. Go ahead. Your question.
Okay. So with the offense and defense, I'll say offense hopefully changing, right? Because we hope that there's some adjustments that, so with the offense and defense changing in 2026 for the Bills, would it be easier to wait until next season, 2027, to find an elite player to trade for, as opposed to all the hoopla about, this is what they said. Brandon Beane has the green light to go get whoever, blah, blah, blah. I really had to sit and think about everything that we talked about in the last show. And I'm like, we're going to have much more cap space next season if we if we be smart this season. And then we'll be in a position next season where if we don't win the Super Bowl in 2026, we can for sure load up. And we'll be in year 2 of both an offensive and defensive build to then pack in an elite player and go for it.
Oh, okay, you going there. This is going to be easy. So anyway, this is why. Because, yes, I did a mock draft, and I knew I was going to get flamed for it, which is fine because I'm used to being flamed. Funny story. Not even a story, just a statement that happened to me on Tuesday at work. You guys will like this because some of you guys feel the same way. But anyway, we're getting done with the evening, and one of my coworkers, I got to make a courtesy call to a passenger to let him know his bag arrived. Okay, cool. So she calls him. He says, "You're going to bring it now." He's out there, way out there, and you're going to bring it right now. And I jumped on. I said, "No, we have a delivery service. We'll set it up in the morning. We'll bring it out to you." He's like, "No, it's now. I need it now. You're going to get in your car now and drive it." I said, "No, I'm not." I said, "No, I'm not."
You crazy.
Right. He said something. He said, "You know what? What's your name?" And I told him my name, spelled it out for him just so he had it right. And he said, "What's your last name?" "You don't need that." He's like, "If you can find another Keyshawn in Buffalo, you let me know." And so he's like, "You know what? You're a disgrace. You're useless." I said, wasn't the first time I ever heard that. Won't be the last. Like, it's a shame you got to say that. I said, whatever. So for you guys to say you guys suck, heard it all before. But yeah, to your question, no, I mean honestly, I think you need to let the chips fall where they may. You don't want to chase anything. The draft is there for the taking. The defense is. I mean, honestly, obviously, this is what I've been waiting for so long. The defense is not a new defense by way of McDermott being gone, but now Jim Leonard being here and having something that's a new concept. Even Jim Leonard said that it wasn't going to be a finished product this year because he can't convert it in its entirety in one off season. So I'm interested in seeing what he can do because there's a lot of interesting moving parts in this defense as it's currently constructed that people don't think about. There's a lot of people in the draft. This is a great year for a defensive draft. This is a great year where you don't have to reach or chase. If you get, you usually don't see a linebacker taking at 26, 28, whatever. But this might be the year you could do that. You don't have to worry about that 3 tech because we have enough of those, and we don't even need a 3 tech. We need a 1 eye or 0. We got 4s already on the team. 3 or 4 of them already. Your secondary, you have to look at your secondary for depth, but the defense can be put into a position where they can flourish as is. And then next year you just keep adding to it. Offensively, you have Josh Allen, you got James Cook. You got to worry about the offensive line. You saw they just signed Alec Anderson to a 1-year deal for $3 million. So that tells me we got to get a guard because they have no faith in him as a long-term solution to that position.
Yeah, if that's all he's getting.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you can put Van Pran Granger at center. You could put Alec Anderson at guard if you can't get somebody else. And then you get your left tackle, right tackle, and right guard already set. So people's biggest thing right now is, should we get rid of Knox? Should we keep Knox? What do? Do you draft another tight end? Do you go get Kyle Pitts? What do you do at that position? At this point in time, it's what do you do with Dalton Kincaid? Do you extend him, which I don't think you do because of the money thing? You just sign him for his 5th-year option. Backup quarterback, are we really talking about that? No. Are we talking about the third running back behind James Cook and Ray Davis? Are we talking about Ray Davis not being that second running back? You can work these things out, but the defense is the side where you can get a lot of impact players this year for the long term.
Yeah. I mean, I could go both ways because I like what where is it? Who said it? Somebody put a comment in here about
what they say.
I know. Here it is. Daquan says, we cannot think of next year. At any point, one of our top players can have a season or career-ending injury. Now is the only time. I like the mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I think not that we have to have that mentality, but that's kind of how I thought about it. I think what's pulling me away from that very slowly is understanding who our general manager / president of football operations is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the type of guy that is never, ever, ever going to think that way.
Right.
He's not going to be in this, he's not going to be in this mindset of, we got to get it all right now. I think the situation he's in right now, he feels a little stressed because guys that he wanted to try and set up for, future positions have not been coached in a certain way to be ready for those positions, which is why Anderson only gets $3 million when Anderson was probably brought on to be a developmental guy to be in place for when whoever on the offensive line leaves. You know what I'm saying? We could be looking at a situation where SVPG is not ready because he wasn't coached up enough and prepared for a starting position because Sean's mindset is, I want my guys on the field at all times. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know that particular inside dynamic yet of how Sean was running the show, but we do know how Brandon Beane likes to build a team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've heard it a lot from him.
He's been very transparent about it. The message hasn't changed since McDermott's been gone. Still kicking at the door, running it back. I have a lot of faith. I mean, honestly, I really think he has more faith in the roster than McDermott actually did.
Yep.
And that's kind of scary. That really is kind of scary because you have somebody who in Brady's already showed you I can make it work with what I have. So now you're the head coach. Now you have to figure out what it is that you want to have to make it work. It's not just give me something, I'll do what I can with it because this is your show. Well, we can't use that. so soon after McDermott left, because we just heard that with McDermott. This is Sean's show. But in essence, should be Brady's show. You're the big dog in town now. You got the job. You wear the hat, and now you have to get your team together, rally the troops, and get them going.
Yep. So what that brings me to is,
and while you do that, thank you, Deborah Lewis. Go ahead. Says she loves our show.
Oh, thank you.
We need more of that because people hate us. No, they don't. Well, they do, but we don't know who they are, and they can stay where they are.
Okay, so that brings me to the next question. Would the Bills even need an elite player from somewhere else after so this is after, I'm sorry, I asked the question in the wrong place. So what I did is I went back and I tried to think through moves that the Bills could make smartly that would definitely improve the team while also kind of fitting better what we know the vision is for Brandon Beane in building this team, right? Because one of the things you heard on GR, I forgot what day it was this week when they were talking about this, but when it comes to the salary cap situation, I think they were on with it might have been Chopin Bulldog or no, I'm sorry, it was Jeremy and Joe was on with Mike Giannitti, right? And he was talking about, if you look at a lot of the Super Bowl teams, they don't have a lot of these top paid guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Most teams that win Super Bowls don't have the top paid guys in the NFL. So when you're looking at the Bills' success, you got to shrug your shoulders and say, okay, well, it fits the narrative of the NFL in today's day and age. You know what I mean? Like, Justin Jefferson hasn't been to a Super Bowl, and he's been on that team for 5-6 years. Myles Garrett hasn't been to a Super Bowl. He's been on that team for however long. Max Crosby, like, these guys don't get off of these bad teams first and foremost because an owner would never let a meal ticket walk out of the door, not for free. And
other teams are not. I mean, look at the position you're saying. Yeah, defensive ends and wide receivers.
Yes.
If you don't have a blue chip quarterback, what do you need a blue chip wide receiver for? Because we tried that before and it didn't work. Well, one of the blue chip receiver we got ended up being a lame duck, Sammy Watkins. But then you got defensive ends. What is their win share? Of course they rush the quarterback, but what if you don't have a good backfield? What if you don't have a good linebacking core? What if you don't have a good secondary? One guy outside a quarterback can't do it. So, you have guys that like Buffalo, where in essence you don't have a lot of high paid players, but the players you play high are not the right ones. We're looking at, even I'll say Greg Rousseau's, that's a higher contract. Terrell Bernard's, that's a really high contract for what he does. Khalil Shakir, could he earn the money that he's been paid? Yes, but do they let him? No. So you have to get guys that have a symbiotic relationship with the people that matter, which would be your offensive line, which would be, the wide receivers like a Brandon Cooks or something like that. Defensively, they got to play off each other. And that's how you build a team. I mean, look at the Patriots model back in the day. A star quarterback and a lot of guys that worked well with his skill set. And then the defense, they got in where they fit in. Yeah. And we have to do that because it's always we've come up as Bills fans knowing we have an offense, no defense, no offense. It's almost never the same. It's almost never good on both sides at the same time. And that's what McDermott always said, complementary football, it never was. And I used to always say, you don't know what it means because it's not. The offense is good, so you compliment with them being bad. So we're still average.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So what I did is I started from the defensive end of the spectrum when it comes to free, and this is strictly free agents. I'm not going through any draft picks or anything like that. I can't wait because
I got a list too.
You do?
Oh,
okay. All right. Let's see if we got some matches.
Okay,
this should be good. Okay, so I've kind of named this key defensive free agents, and when I'm saying key defensive free agents, I'm thinking in my head guys that can come onto this team and be difference makers on the field for this team. Not necessarily your top tier guys, but guys that when you surround them with the other talent that we have, it kind of pushes the cream, the cream to the surface. You know what I'm saying? And that would, in my mind, be these guys, right? So first guy on my list, yo guy, Cameron Curl. I think he likes it, ladies and gentlemen. He
It's
really,
one on my
really
list
likes
too.
it.
It's one on my list too. There you go.
All right, so Cameron Curl's market value right now is about $8.75 million per season. I don't think that's too much to ask. I think he's a very versatile safety that can do a lot of different things, and that would fit extremely well with what you have on the other side of the field with, oh God, what the heck is his name now? Who's the other safety?
Cole Bishop.
Yeah, Cole Bishop. So Cameron Curl at safety. Number 2 on my list, and there's only 3, right? Because I'm trying to fit this under the $58 million cap space that we kind of designated. If the Bills wanted to make, they could. They might not make that much. They might make more. Who knows? Number 2 on my list is Leo Chenal.
Mm-hmm.
Leo Chenal played in a kind of a hybrid system. He's very familiar with Jim Leonard.
Must say you missed. He played from Wisconsin.
He did. That's right. He played for him there. And Leo Chenal has been one of those guys that is constantly ascending in his playmaking ability, his style of play. He's a very intelligent player, from what I understand. So another one of those guys that has made some pop plays against us. He's made plays, for that Chiefs defense in general since he's been there. And then last but not least on this list, let me know what you think about this one, but I have Arnold Ebiketie.
I looked at it, but I can go there. He's not a great fit for the defensive scheme, but I can go there. I can see why you said it.
So I'm looking at a guy who is more pass rusher than run defender. To put opposite of, because I think Greg Rousseau is going to end up playing outside linebacker. Maybe he can lose a little bit of weight, get down to 250, 6'6", 250 instead of 6'6", 260 to 270. I think Arnold Ebiketie at $8 million per season fits what the Bills need from a pass rushing standpoint, while also being able to play well against the run. He's able to sustain blocks, move off of blocks, and play the run pretty well from what I've seen. And when you factor into that, he's got the ability to bend. It's not a great bend, but he's got speed and he's got pass rush ability to get to the quarterback very quickly. 6'2", 250 pounds. For what he's done in the NFL already, every season, if you go look at his stats, he's consistently progressed. Cameron Curl, same deal, consistently progressed. Same deal for Leo Chenal, consistently progressed. That's why I put these guys on this list. In my mind, it's about, yeah, you may not be the biggest name, but have you gotten better every season? And if you can do that with those teams, then I'm certain with the coaches that we have now, you should be able to do that here, right? Jim Leonard is one of the most sought-after coaches in the league this year, and we got him. So that tells me this dude can coach. If that's the case, give him some guys like this that may not be, developmental from the standpoint of they need a lot of work, but maybe developmental from the standpoint of, man, if you can add a little bit extra to their repertoire, they could really put up some elite numbers with the surrounding talent, right? So all of those players all together take off of your $58 million salary cap about $22.75 million per season for those 3 players, right? That leaves you with about $35.25 million for one guy. It's kind of like 1 and 1/3 receivers that I put up here. And I'll explain in a second. So I really only put one key offensive free agent. In my mind, I think the Bills could start Tylen Grable, Alec Anderson, and SVPG at offensive line. And not that we wouldn't miss a beat, but by the time we make it to the playoffs, those guys would be ready to go. You know what I mean? Especially with the development and Josh Allen, playing behind that line and all that kind of stuff. Like they would be okay. They wouldn't need to spend a ton of money. So I didn't put offensive linemen on top of that. In the last episode, I talked about 2 offensive linemen that I think we could get that could, help out. So I went with wide receiver, and initially when I heard this name, I was like, I know he's good, but I don't think he could come here and be a problem solver for this offense until I went and watched his tape. Romeo Doubs, I think, is one of those receivers that needs a shot in the same way that Antonio Brown just needed a shot. and needed to play with an elite quarterback in a system that accents what he does best. And here's the kicker. Me saying what he does best, he can play every position on the field. He can play inside, he can play outside. What I love about this guy is he's got a lot of moves to create separation. And when you watch him on tape, pretty much every time he's catching the ball, he's got at least a yard of separation from the defender. Like on comebacks, on inside routes, when he's playing in the slot and he's running down the field and he's running skinny posts and stuff like that, like he's got some sort of separation from the defender almost every time. It could be scheming it up that way. It could be whatever the case is. This dude, he gets open, right? If that's the case, that's all we need, because that's all Stephon Diggs was. Stephon Diggs was shake a guy, get separation. Josh Allen gets him the ball. He puts up 100 receptions a season and 1,500 yards. Mm-hmm. Like, that's all Stephon Diggs was. Stephon Diggs wasn't stronger than anybody else. He wasn't faster than anybody else. He knew how to get separation from guys. That's what Josh Allen needs. That's what Romeo Doubs can provide.
You're missing his best asset that will bring him here. You know what I'm going to say, right?
The helmet?
No.
Oh.
That's hilarious, though.
Two dudes.
That would be great.
Bishop on Dobbs.
He can block.
Yeah. Oh, God, he can block. Oh. I have heard he can block. Yes, I have. I've heard.
We'll find out this year if that was more of a McDermott desire or if that was a Brady desire.
Yeah. I have a strong feeling that was more of a Sean McDermott deal, mostly because of how quick Sean got rid of Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs was not a great blocker.
Yeah.
At all. So you factor that into the direction that Sean wanted to move with running the ball and Stephon Diggs being the best player in that classroom of wide receivers. You don't want to try to set up an expectation of blocking when your best player in a classroom doesn't block well at all.
I mean, honestly, to me, it's like, this is how I think about it. I push back on that, and I'm probably going to be pushed back on for pushing back. But
you're going to get flamed for it.
I'm going to get flamed for it. But, I mean, they just extended him knowing he doesn't block. He can't block. He does this well. They got Gabe Davis. They got Shakir. They got Beast. They got all these other guys that do this, for the guy that goes and does nothing but get you 1,100, 1,400 yards. So, like, the thing is, like, when Steph Diggs came to Buffalo, McDermott obviously wanted to keep him around, a year or two before.
Maybe.
But see, this is the thing. This is the thing. This is what drives me nuts. Not because you said it or anybody else really, but when it's this thing is Bean, when it's this thing is McDermott.
That's a good point.
And for us to say that McDermott had complete control over the 53,
yep.
When we just re-signed Stephon Diggs to an extension, then to turn around and say, no, he didn't want him. It was really Bean. Which is,
I mean, maybe. Like, here's why I say that. I get what you're saying, and it is an extremely valid point. I think where I'm coming from with that is, even though Sean had control of the 53 as far as who made the team, I think even Sean knew he would be stupid at the height of Diggs' career, at the height of Josh Allen's ascension, to be like, you know what? We're not gonna resign Diggs. Let's let him go. Let's draft another guy that blocks well. And I think even Sean knew that would be a step back for this franchise.
I think under Dorsey, Sean was like, "Yeah, I can see it."
Right.
And he's like, "All right, cool. Dorsey's going. Brady, what you got? All right, no. None of this works. None of this works. We got to do something. We got to get rid of him." And I think that's kind of what it was. He was like. He looked at his playbook. He said, tunnel screens. I like tunnel screens. I love them, but not him. Make him do something else. Brady's like, that's all I got. He's like, damn it. Gotta do something. He's got to go.
Listen, we need to take a pause, and you need to double back and praise Joe Brady now, because we cannot be a rah-rah podcast unless you praise Joe Brady for everything that he's been and everything that he's going to do. Like, it's not possible. We have to maintain a certain level of positivity on this show if we're going to remain a Bills rah-rah podcast.
Right.
That's how it works. So I mean, Romeo Doubs, back to trying to hurry up and finish this point real quick so we can move on. 12
I think we're going to be here for a while.
Okay.
Go ahead.
12 million per. You comfortable with 12 million for Romeo Dobbs?
I am.
Considering Josh Palmer is making about that much this season. Hold on, let me just double check that.
I'll say I am one more time if you need me to, but
Palmer is at 11.75 million.
Oh, I could have told you that. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, and I am. Yeah,
okay,
easily.
All right.
Because you got to remember, that's not 12 million against the cap. There's going to be interesting things in there where he's getting paid like 4 million plus whatever, and then the extra residual. So I am with that.
Yep. Okay. I mean, so that move leaves you with about 23.25 million. And then I just a little icing on the cake. I just added in there, if you wanted another guy to come in to play that or compete, I guess, with Josh Palmer for that number 2 spot on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
You could either resign Brandon Cooks, which I don't think anybody wants to do, or you can try and sign Christian Kirk for about the same amount of money, which is about $4.5 million a year.
I would take Cooks back, but it would be with somebody from the draft. It wouldn't just be I don't want to be like, 32. You got a 3-year contract. No, we're not doing that. We'll go ahead and give you a year, 2 maybe, worth like $5 million per. If you want that, you good with that? You cool, amicable?
Yeah.
Fine, but you're not going to get upwards of 13 million, 14 million. You're going to get a single-digit mil. You're going to get no guarantee you're going to be a starter. But you can go along for the ride if you so choose. Somebody asked before I go. I don't want to cut you off, but I don't really have the mentality to remember these comments anymore. But
I know we got to find a way to
to pin it like we used to.
Pin them, yeah.
Somebody asked earlier, what do we think about Trey White? I don't remember who it was. I
keeping or getting rid of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think he's washed? Do you think he? I mean, honestly I don't know, and this is why, because we don't have the same play caller. We don't have somebody that Trey White played within Buffalo every time he played in Buffalo. We have Jim Leonard, who likes to move, who likes to get busy, and I don't really know where Trey White will really fit in his defense. I don't think Jim Leonard knows where much of them fit in his defense yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, like he said, it's not going to be in cement what he's going to do going forward. This is going to be a fluid deal where he's going to learn and go and kind of phase guys out before.
Yep.
So it wouldn't hurt to bring Trey White back. We have a small cornerback room. Did we get rid of Dane Jackson? Or did I dream that?
He's a free agent.
Good. Okay. I mean, my condolences. But yeah, we have what, 4 guys counting to Corey Couch, who's not going to even probably make the team.
Oh, we got a call.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, we do got a call. All right. Post Podium Podcast. Who we on with?
Nico.
Yo.
What's going on, Nico?
What's going on? Chilling. Had to call in a little early because I'm about to jump into a meeting in like 20 minutes.
Oh, man, I've been there.
So, so I wanted to get this question out and stuff like that, get it out of my way. It's a 2-part question. One, at the end of the day, when the season starts, how many receivers do we have on our team? Second of all, is it okay if we go another year without an elite pass rusher, even though we've never had one, even though we try to use the tread on Von Miller, the tread on Bosa, even though you guys think that he's not a pass rusher, but he was we classified him as him one. So yeah, that's my question. My 2 questions: how many receivers at the end of the day do we have when the season starts, and is it okay for us to go another year without an elite?
I honestly think they're going to dress actually 6 receivers this year. Here's why. Because you have a depleted tight end room, especially if they get rid of Dawson Knox. You don't know what Jackson Hawes is in the receiving game. You know he can block, but you don't know if you can depend on him as the number 2 tight end. Outside of that, you can bring back Lecky Latu if you want. But then you got the injury albatrosses on Dalton Kincaid, on him. So we can't depend on the tight ends like we did last year to be healthy, especially if Dawson Knox isn't here. I don't foresee him not being here, but that's the swirling that he could be asked to take another pay cut. Why would he do that? Everybody's Josh Allen's best friend. I don't give a damn. Me and you are making all this money. We'll have a beer later. I'm not going to be on the show anymore. I have to take a massive pay cut to do this thing. And the second question, the elite pass rusher. I think yes. I think you don't need an elite pass rusher as a person. I think Jim Leonard can make somebody an elite pass rusher in his system. So. Yeah, I don't think you need to go get a Max Crosby or don't be upset because you don't have a Myles Garrett. I think he can make somebody that way if he schemes it open that way.
Yeah, I agree. Right now, the Bills, I mean, before everybody falls off in free agency, the Bills went into the season with 7 wide receivers, or they ended the season with 7 wide receivers anyway. Do they go into the season with 7? I think with Joe Brady kind of knowing all of these guys, I'm not sure we need to. I mean, usually teams carry at least 6. So I think that would probably be the magic number. I think making the top 5, 6 is going to be your special teamer no matter what. But making the top 5 is probably going to be the toughest season for a wide receiver to make the top 5. I mean, you've got one guy that you are probably forced to keep, and that's Josh Palmer, just because you really can't get rid of that contract. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if you do, it would have to be a post-June. So I think everybody else being in competition except for, if they were to bring in a guy like Romeo Dobbs, obviously he's making the roster. But a guy like Christian Kirk and Brandon Cooks, they're in competition. Everybody else behind whoever that, number one guy is, at the, that X receiver that the Bills bring in is going to be in competition. So I think the magic number is 6 going into the season. And then obviously, if somebody gets hurt or something like that, they'll make waves, where they need to there. As far as the pass rusher situation, I'm in full agreement. I think when you look at Nick Benito and who was the Cooper, I think with Edrin Cooper was the other pass rusher in Denver. Neither one of those guys, I know you wanted Cooper back.
I did.
Neither one of those guys are household names outside of Denver.
Right.
But they're part of the best defense, or the second best defense in the AFC. And I think the Bills could absolutely have that. It's part of the reason why I went with Arnold Ebiketie, because his skill set fits what Rousseau would need on the other side. Right. Yep. Rousseau needs a pressure guy to push the quarterback into him, because he's not going to beat his guy with quickness, but he is going to wall off two blockers if he so wanted to. He's long enough to do so that the quarterback has nowhere to go. So I just think from a schematic standpoint, it works. But that's what we would need.
Now the edge that I had that's not going to happen, but would destroy the game in the Jim Leonard scheme is the other number 15 from Miami.
Ooh.
Tommy.
Jalen Phillips?
Jalen Phillips.
Yeah.
He would be perfect.
Yeah.
Him and Rousseau would go nuts together.
Yeah.
They would go bonkers. I mean, and unfortunately, Jalen Phillips would carry about a $16 million per cap hit, which, depending, would you do it?
You wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to like really get too many other players on defense if you're going to do that.
Yeah, no.
Defensive players in free agency right now are kind of expensive.
But the defensive players I got are mostly draft picks. So I got C.J. Allen. I got Dante Corleone. I got who else do I have? I think I even got Josiah Trotter. I got everybody's favorite from Texas A&M or Texas Tech, Rodriguez, the middle linebacking demon. So I did a mock draft and they fit excellently in this scheme. But yeah, no, I mean, Jalen Phillips would be your swing for the fence. But also, like we talked about, Azeez Ojulari. Who else did I have? I had
Odafe Owe.
Odafe Owe was definitely on my list. And we also could go, if you want to go tier 2, you could go with like a Malcolm Kuntz from UB, also Oakland. Yeah. You could go with, somebody like, let's see, who else do I have? You could, if you wanted to dig for the swing for the fences, Clavon Chason, which is all he does is pass rush. He's He's not going to give you anything else but pass rush.
Right.
So he's got to be over there with Deion Walker. So.
Him and Javon Solomon will just be over there chilling, watching film.
But those are the defensive ends I had. I mean, I went through every defensive position, I think, except for cornerback, because I didn't know where this exercise was going to go. But I can tell you also, we do have an in-house nose tackle that actually would work in the system better than what we run with McDermott and Zion Logue. If you can't find a nose tackle, you don't want to chase for one or force one, just go just bring him up and put him out there for now and try to replace him next year if you have to.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Khalil Mack? Is he too old now?
Yeah, he's too old. For me, he's too old.
For the money.
Yeah. That was one of my requisites when I went through this thing. I said, 30? Okay. We got to get, because I'm looking at guys that are going to be here 26, 27, 28. Yeah. Because, I mean, when I looked at safeties, the number one was Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. That was the optimal pick for the safety position next to Cole Bishop. But see, that right there would tell us who has the culture.
That's a great point.
That tells us
that's a great because that dude is a culture killer.
He's a culture killer. So that would tell us exactly what they want. Where are we here? Oh, let's see.
So I want to get to this question here from Daquan. Says, who has won a Super Bowl without an elite pass rusher? Anyone? That would be the Seahawks. They didn't have an elite pass rusher. They didn't have a household name. I mean, that's
the thing. If you're talking about elite pass rusher, defensive coordinators can build an elite pass rusher with somebody that has the traits that they need to get their defense going. Yeah.
I mean, you could try and say DeMarcus Lawrence, but he's a couple of years past his prime.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this is everybody is elite, but you see guys become elite, then they go somewhere else, get money, and disappear. Why is that? Because they're elite in a system.
Right.
If you get into the right system, Jerry Hughes, remember him? He, almost an afterthought. He was this close.
Oh, yeah.
But he had a hell of a career in Buffalo because he got into the right system at the right time. And that's why he came to McDermott's aid when they fired him. That's why, when all that went down, he's man, I don't know what that's about. But also, he also said there's things in the organization that people don't know. That was when I was looking at.
Okay.
Yeah. Roy said Pat Moran on his podcast said he would put a second round tender on Alec Anderson. That's over $5 million. Sounds crazy. Yeah, no.
That is crazy.
It is. He signed for $3 million.
Yeah.
Pat Moran, I love Pat Moran. Love his show. I watch it all the time. But sometimes I'm like, what? And I see Roy in there too, so I'll be laughing. But
no words, just thoughts, right?
I'll be driving home I'm like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Say it again?
It's hard hearing some of these theories.
By the way, it's a weird hotkey, but I'm pretty sure if you guys want to pin comments, just hold the Alt key and click on whatever comment you want to pin, and it should pin in your chat for you.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay.
Excellent.
Look at that. Tech savvy.
I am.
Wait, where did it go, though?
Did you click it off?
I hit all and clicked it again.
Maybe that did it. Maybe just don't click it again. Try it again.
It was right around here, though. Now it's gone.
Oh, you really wanted that one?
Yeah. Now it's just gone.
We sorry, y'all.
Oh,
sorry.
no. Oh, it is. It's pinned to the top now. Can I get it off of there?
Sign Kyle Pitts and use him as a wide receiver. You don't have to though. See, that's the thing. You don't. I said Kyle Pitts, and you can use him as in any way you want. He doesn't have to be a wide receiver. He could be a stand up tight end. He could be a big slot. He could be split wide. He could do anything you want with the guy. You just because you're a tight end. This is like what basketball evolved into. When we were growing up, a center did this, a guard did this, a forward did this forward does that. Now it's like, I'm a center, but I got ball and I bring it up.
I think might be Vu.
Someone's definitely on the phone right now. Let's find out who this is. This could be really good or really bad.
Hello?
Post Podium Podcast. Who we on with?
It's definitely the Vu. What's up with y'all?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man. I've been trying to get in contact with you guys since day one. What is up?
What's going on?
Especially Aramis. He dogged my coach out so bad, bro. I have no idea.
Hey, where's he sitting at right now? Where's he sitting at right now?
All right, because of you. You started this shit. You got McDermott fired. That's what I want you to know.
Good.
This is all on you. You got McD up out of there for no damn reason.
All right. I'll pat myself on the back for that one.
Don't pump
Bro,
his head.
and 40 Keys, you know you my man, 40 Keys. You can't do nothing wrong. You understand? I don't know why you be acting like
Me and
that.
Smitty. Yes.
Yeah, Smitty, my boy. Smitty tried to hold you
That one in the
down.
middle.
Aramis was at the goddamn gate with the damn picket sign. He wanted my man going bad. Like, come on, bro. I've been a fan since 1990, since 11 years old, bro.
I hear you.
I watched my team be ass all my life since I got older. You understand what I'm saying? As soon as we get back up somewhere, you just like shitting on everybody. Like, come on, bro, chill.
I wouldn't say
ain't
that.
made the playoffs since I was like what, 13 or 14 years old. At least we was making the damn playoffs. I get it though. It did get stale to me too. Like we gotta win that shit. I understand that, bro. But you just don't fire somebody and get rid of them like that, bro. You was tripping, bro.
I
guarantee you, in 1-2 years, he could be saying fire Brady. That's Aramis. I promise you.
No,
bro.
I was one of the people saying we shouldn't have hired Brady. So
now this is
I'm already there.
You wanted Brady hired? Why? I don't get it.
No, I said I didn't want Brady hired.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask you.
I don't trust them either because I believe him and Bing. That's why they ain't getting no receivers for McDermott last year. They wanted him out of there, bro. That was the whole plan to get him up out of there.
Let me ask you this question: Does it sting more? Now that Bean and Brady is still there.
Right. Damn right. That's the back. That ain't the back door. That's like your homeboy setting you up to get shot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Think about it. Like nigga gave you a broken gun. He told you go on a damn drill.
Yeah.
How them two still there, but everybody was a part of the damn process though. Come on, man.
Culture.
That's like you keeping PPP going and you throw goddamn keys out the door, but damn Smitty sitting in his damn seat. You get what I'm saying? Somebody else sitting in Smitty's seat. That's what that's like right there.
No, that's what you want. Is you want keys here and Smitty here and me gone. That's what you want.
No, man, I'm just trying to make a point.
We got it.
I got you.
You cool, Aramis. I be liking your points though. Sometimes I just ain't like how you was on McDermott ass. Like
I'm still on it. I'm still on it.
For what?
He don't need another job.
Did you see what he did for us for 9 years? He brought us back up, bro. Like, come on, bro. You can't do that, bro.
We really got to do this? Who is this quarterback?
It didn't matter. We was relevant. The baddest decision he made was what's that damn quarterback we had? The crazy boy that threw 6 damn interceptions.
You mean the one who started over Josh Allen?
Huh?
You mean the one who started over Josh Allen?
I don't know what's his name.
Nathan Peterman?
Nathan goddamn Peterman. Oh my God, bro. I turned that game off so damn fast, bro.
You know Nathan Peterman and Josh Allen were on the same team that year, right?
He was quarterback number 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know McDermott really didn't play the rookies. You know how you gotta earn your keep, nigga. You gotta earn it.
Not the quarterback you draft in the first round.
Look, man, but sometimes you gotta earn your keep when you come in.
Name one quarterback not named Jordan Love that had to come in the first round as a first round pick and not play.
Patrick Mahomes. He sat down.
I mean, he had Alex Smith.
Patrick Mahomes. Did he sit down?
He had Alex Smith, and he was a late first round pick.
Who the hell is Alex Smith? He wasn't nobody.
Okay, all right. Let me fix the question. Name one top 10 first round pick that had to come in and sit.
Why you gotta redirect the question now?
Because it makes a point.
No,
it makes a point.
Redirected. I answered it the first time.
No. My point is, Josh Allen was the 7th overall pick. You don't sit that guy down and just let him marinate behind Nathan Peterman for any period of time.
He wasn't ready, bro. Josh Allen was just as wild as a wild damn horse when he first got
here. He wasn't ready when we put him in.
Nathan Peterman was definitely
worse.
worse.
Josh Allen
That's what I'm
played,
saying.
oh my
Okay,
God.
all right.
Peterman had his 5 interception game the year before because we were playing Tyrod, and McDermott benched Tyrod against the Chargers in favor of Peterman, and it took one half before he went back to Tyrod.
You damn right. He threw 6 damn interceptions.
Okay, and Josh was better than that, right?
I would have fired that nigga at halftime.
Was Josh Allen better than Nathan Peterman?
Hell yeah.
All right, so why not start him ahead of him?
Because he had faith in him. Come on, you ain't never had faith in something you ain't know wouldn't work out. Don't act like that. Like you are you perfect?
Do you also remember that offseason? They I think they cut or traded Tyrod. they got rid of AJ McCarron. And then they were like, "Oh crap, we have no one to develop Allen," and they had to go find Derek Anderson off the couch.
Yep.
Yeah, that was horrible too. I remember that too. But remember Josh Allen first, though. He was wild, man. He never set his feet. He just ran and threw the ball. Like I said, once the boy learn how to set his feet, he gonna be all right.
Yeah, I mean,
He just said hike, ran with the ball, and threw that shit like on Madden, bro. Come on, man. That's how Josh Allen started out. Now, come on, let's be for real.
This is how you win this ball. Well, you don't win it. You don't win it. Arguing each other. What would have been? If we would have had Doug Marrone.
I can't hear you. Break it up a little bit.
What would it have been with Doug Marrone and Josh Allen?
I hated Doug Marrone. That's the motherfucker you're supposed to fire. Okay, he was horrible. Okay.
Yep, he would have sent him packing. His answer. He was sent him packing.
He was horrible as a coach.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I just wanted to holler at y'all. Hey, PPP fan, man. Good to finally get to talk to Airman's, man. Cause he wasn't shit when I first met him.
We appreciate you, man. Talk to you anytime.
Thanks for the call.
I had to turn y'all show on and turn it off so damn fast every time we get to talking. I swear.
Talk to you later, brother.
All right, man. Holla at y'all, bros, man. I'm finished enjoying the show, man.
All right,
Smitty. I see you, Smitty. Looking like goddamn Christian McCaffrey.
I love it. Listen, we have these conversations because at some point somebody's gonna be on my side, then they switch and be on Key's side, then they switch and be on both our sides, then they switch and just disagree with everything.
Then
we say.
Yo, y'all, matter of fact, y'all trash.
Right. I'm fine with it. Like
right.
at the end of the day, Vu has his reasons for what he thinks, and he supported it. Mm-hmm. He gave us information. Mm-hmm. That's all I want. Yep. That's all I care about. Don't come at us with, I think this, well, why? Because that's just what I believe. No. You got to support that thing. Right. Tell me why. Use some information. Tell me what was going on in that situation, what you think contributed to that. Right. That's exactly what Vu did, so I really appreciate that. Thank you, Vu.
It was a good time talking to him.
No doubt. Let's get to a few comments here. DeQuan says, Sean McDermott is similar to Tom Thibodeau. Playoff potential only. Mismanaged players all year, then fail in the playoffs. Am I wrong? I don't think you are, bro.
No.
Some coaches are like that.
Yeah, I think McDermott froze. I think the moment was always gonna be too big for him.
Yeah. Nate said, nicely done, Vu. Should we start calling him Mick Schmitty? Yeah. All right, what else do we have here? DeQuan again says, I believe Sean was the problem more than anyone else, i.e. having Maxwell playing in a meaningless game end of year. I mean, that was more so because he didn't have Jamarcus Ingram on the roster. Right.
Where's Slay? Where's Ingram?
Yeah,
that's a bean question.
Yeah,
but I mean, also I look at Maxwell. How did we know that was going to happen? He missed a lot of time in the beginning of the year. You're thinking you're going to the playoff with your starting cornerback. Now is the time in a game where we're going to win to get him some chops, and it can always it can happen. It could have been really good too. We wouldn't be talking about this if he had 2 interceptions, a pass breakup that looked like the second coming of Deion Sanders or something like that. And we're like, yo, we got our dude. But instead, what happened. But he'll be back, so we'll see what happens next year. Yeah.
Vu says, bro, we gave 2 touchdowns with backup. Jamal says, so we doing this Rex Ryan thing again? Why can't we find a defensive coordinator who can run both 3-4 and 4-3?
We got one.
Shaking my head. Yeah, I mean,
we got one. Honestly, he can.
Yeah,
he runs a hybrid defense.
Yeah. And okay, Jamal, this is why I've been pounding the table so many times for the terminology. It's not a 3-4. It's not a 4-3. It's an odd front. It's an odd front. There's a difference because there's different responsibilities for the front 3, the second 4. In an odd front versus a 3-4, than there are in a 4-3 or 40 front. It's just a front. They're going to still run a 3-3-5. They're still going to run your 3-3-2. What is it? 3-4-5, whatever. I can't do math. 3-4-4 or whatever.
4-4-3-3-5.
Yeah, they're going to do all this. It's just all Leonard's going to employ is bringing Russo up to line up on the line, or bringing him off the line, or Ebiketie, or insert player A. So you're not necessarily going to see a staunch defined 3-4. You're gonna be like, what are they running? And that's the point. It's supposed to be fluid. It's supposed to be a match. It's supposed to be a mug. It's supposed to be something that the offense they can't decipher before the snap. So it's a lot of protection, a lot of simulated pressure. So don't get too caught up in the 3-4-4-3. But I understand what you're saying. You're gonna need some different components to the defense. But look at it like this. Schmitty knows. Anybody's watched this over. What have I always asked for in this defense? A one tech. We were a 4-3 for 9 years, and I still wanted a one tech. Now imagine we had a one tech that slid into Leonard's scheme. It's the same front.
Right.
So don't worry about it too much.
Real quick before we get to this phone call, I don't know if everybody remembers the Super Bowl that Aaron Rodgers won. Do you remember the defense for that team? And do you remember what they called it?
What was that? The amoeba defense?
The amoeba defense, right? And it was called that because they weren't in any standard traditional front every single time. They just did whatever was necessary to create advantageous matchups for that defense. Yep. Charles Woodson would play corner, then he'd play linebacker, then he'd play nickel, then he'd play safety. Mm-hmm. They had their best players doing whatever it took in whatever formation to create the advantages that they need. Yep. And from everything that we've heard, Jim Leonard is that type of guy too. Mm-hmm. Let's get to the phone call here. You on with Post Podium Podcast. Who we talking to?
Oh, is this me?
Yep.
It's me next.
Yep. You in there?
Hey, it's your boy Taboni.
Yo, what's going on? What's good, fam?
Man, it's a long time coming trying to get this phone call. I've been waiting for y'all to do something like this for real. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing y'all for like the past few years. Like everything's been dope. Like, so for me though, I got this one question. What I'm saying here, I'm hearing all the different reports. I remember last 2 days ago hearing that Leslie Frazier was on that Seattle defense coaching staff. I'm like, bro, so for me, it's like, I'm hearing what Vu's saying, but it's like, does McDermott put a cap on all of that to where at this point, now I'm questioning rather or not if the screenplay calls and the way he's so heavy with runs is also impacted by McDermott and how he wanted to have the team. Because if that's the case, then I don't know what to expect with Joe Brady.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, I used to really hate those screens because we have such a dynamic player in Khalil Shakir, and we don't use him right. Because if you keep throwing him the ball 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, you're not getting nothing with it.
Right.
But if he can get the ball in space, we've seen that when we play the Jaguars. 12 catches, 12 targets. They had plenty of yards. So we have somebody in my mind who has the ability to be a 1,000-yard receiver. We don't see nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, the only thing I'm thinking about, too, is, like, if we're doing this three-man front, I've mentioned in the chat a couple of times. When I played football, I was an Iron Man. I played both sides of the line. So I know how I go for O-line, I know how I go for D-line. I don't know what we do with Dwayne Carter, but he is not it.
I said the same thing.
What's happening with Deion Walker? He stands up too high too early. He doesn't know how to have a base in his stance.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to Javon Solomon, I said when we drafted him, first of all, he don't know how to stand in the 4-4. All fours, his hands is right behind right in front of his feet. He don't know what he doing in his stance. So it's a lot on Leonard's plate as far as for who do you place where and how do you manipulate. And it's like, yo, like I don't know what to expect. Joe Brady, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm expecting him to like have no leash. Him being the head coach, he's gonna call what he want to call. But then it's like, what do we have that we can expect from from Leonard? With the chess pieces that we have.
Yeah, I like the fact that Jim Leonard comes from college. See, the reason why I say this is because you have to develop people in a finite amount of time. There's no amount of money you can use to keep your fifth year senior, sixth year senior. At some point they got to go. By NCAA rules, they have to go. So he doesn't have time to dilly dally with guys coming in and needing work. He can identify it and get them with the right people to get them where they need to be to get on this football field. Dwayne Carter Dwayne Carter doesn't fit in a 3-4 anywhere. He doesn't fit anywhere. He's too small to play 4-eye. Boo, I don't know. I wish you were. Boo, you still there? I'm sorry, not Boo. Timoni, you still there?
T-Bone. Yeah, I'm still here.
How tall are you? What would you say?
Shoot, 5'8".
Okay.
I'm not that tall. But here's the thing, though. They used to call me Baby Sap because I knew how to penetrate.
Well, see, that's what I'm getting at.
He was a running back. So I had the smoothest spin move for an interior lineman.
Well, no, what I'm getting at is to your point about Deion Walker being too tall, because I'm 6'6". So I know what it's about to try to get low enough for somebody not to get into my pads. And like you said, he stands up too tall because they haven't taught him the proper way to fire out of that stance in a low fashion. I had to learn that myself. And it could be something as small as actually putting your butt in the air, like straight leg.
Yeah.
Because you want to get your leg to scoop in. Where I'm trying to be like Bruce Smith and I got my leg bent like I'm gonna fire off. They're like, nope, got you. They're doing this to me. So I mean, those little intricate things are things that need to be taught to these guys. And that's why I like Jim Leonard being a college background who can do it real fast. You got 5-star recruits. He had egos coming into Wisconsin saying, you know what? I know what I'm doing. No, you don't, because it doesn't work here, son. Let me show you how to do it. And by the end of the season, they're doing it right. So I'd like to see him with the Deion Walker, who's brand new to the game. And he had success. But now we need you to do something else, and you'll see your success because we're going to get you someone outside. We get you, I'm going to say it because we're not, but Jalen Phillips, somebody like that. And that'll make your job so much easier.
Yeah. No, I mean, the Javon Solomon point, too, I think with where he is as a pass rusher, he could. I think he's at 240 still, right? Last time I checked, he was like 246.
He's almost 250, yeah.
Yeah, so... Yeah, so he wouldn't be too far off from where Arnold Ebiketie is. I mean, if he can get back to 250, 255, I would gladly give him a shot. You know what I mean? Come in, and
if you put him on the edge as an offline outside linebacker, you got to be able to hit the corner low and basically kill it with the figure eight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I used to love the figure eight drill, but he don't have that flexible angle.
Yeah.
So it's like, either you come through with a full, like, when you do all fours, you got to have, like, a primal stance. Like, and then I remember saying this in part of the chat, too. My coach always told me the perfect stance is where you can put a cup of water on your back and it don't fall over. That's like a nuanced thing that I don't see people even thinking about or doing nowadays. And then when it came to how to get your legs to be sturdy and be low, he used to have us do duck walks. Like, instead of doing regular knots, he would have us do duck walks down and back from the 50-yard line to the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So you get used to actually being that low.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when my coach used to have me be the one as a captain to show people how to do a stance. So at the end of the day, if Deion hit these duck walks, and then if Solomon learned how to do this primal stance, somebody can do something. Because I feel like Solomon got the body type. He has a good old outside linebacker body type.
Yeah.
But I feel like when it comes to Deion, I feel like being so big, he will probably be better going against the tackles and guards. Yeah. Not the center. Because the center gonna get under him and get in his pads before he even think to get out his stance like that.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because every time you say something, I'm thinking about the imperfect scouting report on Deion Walker. What was his knock? He has no lower body. Mm-hmm. He has no lower body strength. So what happens is that off season they're going to work on that, duck walks, squats, lunges, things like that. They're going to take him to his limits to make sure he doesn't hurt his back, but they're going to build up the strength around his back to make him more effective. Yeah. So I mean, this off season, if he knocks it out of the park and takes it seriously, you don't have to. I mean, honestly, he doesn't really need to lose weight. He looks like he should, but he carries it well. He plays with it well. So I wouldn't mess with that too much, but he needs to get the legs together, get his, as a thigh doctor would say, get his thighs in order, and really drive and work on that core and that anchor. That's what I would do if I was him.
Yeah. T-Bone, did you have anything else for us?
One thing I do want to ask too though is because the wide receivers, like, I was trying to be an advocate for Curtis Samuel when we first signed him. I was trying so hard. I promise you, I was trying. But after that Broncos game, he was like, "Yeah, y'all got me. I'm good." wash my hands with it, stick a fork in me, I'm good. Because that interception that was on him, I feel like that game we put a lot on Josh, but there was really only one. It was really only one turnover where I'm like, dang it, that's that Josh Allen type stuff.
Yeah.
When he ran for that first down at the end of the first half, carrying that ball like a loaf of bread. I said, nigga, if you don't carry that ball correctly, you're gonna lose it. Wow. Because when Cook got hit, defensive play. That boy put his hat on the ball. When it was a strip sack, okay, cool. That's a defensive play.
Right.
Man smacked it. You know what I'm saying? When it came to overtime, defensive play. I had to go back and see somebody talking about the rules in Cincinnati Dynasty. It was like there was a guy who made videos about what is it, a technical catch in the rule book. I'm like, you know what? I'll let them have that. But that one time where Josh threw it to Curtis deep, and it's like he still got that arm arrogance. And he tried to thread a needle like 50 yards away. Which technically he could have if Curtis Samuel went to the ball instead of thinking it was going to hit him in his hips. And then the cornerback is like, oh, free game. I'll take it. So but now that you want some understanding, get the ball and don't let the defense take it from you, I'm like, all right, bro. I don't have no argument to tell nobody else that we should try to keep Curtis Samuel. I'm good on that. But then when Palmer, he's so fragile.
Yeah.
And be stuff that he do to himself that get him out of the lineup. And I honestly feel like we got a diamond in the rough that we're not even really utilizing. Terrell Shavers is a baller. That man got hands. He can catch it from any angle, on anybody. He earned his spot for a reason. So in my mind, I'm like, do we really like keep gambling? And I feel like Keon Coleman really not that bad either. He's just not in the right spot. I can't keep him an X. He's a big slot type of player.
Yep.
And then the problem with him is like either the ball need to come to his outside shoulder, he look to the right, or he need to be doing something to look for the slant, and he look to the left. Like, nigga, get your head on straight. What are you doing? That's my, like, and I feel like that's the nuance in the game. I don't know where. Like I said, I was a lineman. That's not really my forte. But I used to play Madden all the time. I know where people need to get into chemistry and get their stuff together. So, do we gut the wide receiver room, or do we try to see who we can salvage? That's my question.
All right. Thank you for that, bro.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks.
I think with the salary cap situation, it is as much as I'll just put myself out there, as much as I've talked about, a Justin Jefferson move and AJ Brown move. Part of the reason I went with Romeo Doubs in this situation today is because I think he's the most viable of all the situations that helps you to improve the wide receiver position. Now, after Romeo Doubs, I don't think you need to change much about the wide receiver room. You're not in a position to get rid of Palmer. Otherwise, I would. Curtis Samuel, can you still use him? You might be able to now that you don't need every single wide receiver you have to be a lineman. Maybe he can be more useful now if he's used the way that he was used in Carolina, the way that he was used in Washington. Maybe there's going to be some leeway for him to come out and do that. I never saw Curtis Samuel being a great blocker. I never saw it. But have I seen him be a good receiver? Yes. If put in the position to do so. Same thing for everybody else. So the only thing I think we're going to run into that could cause some weird stuff with the wide receiver room is Shavers coming off of his ACL. You know what I mean? It was so late in the season. It happened in a playoff game. Mm-hmm. So he's probably not going to be ready to even come in and play until late in the season this year. So realistically, he's going to be on IR to start the season if they even keep him, because they can reach an injury settlement and then, sign him back to the squad, on a cheaper deal, or work something out where, once you're healed up, we'll bring you back for a tryout. And if you're good, we'll put you on practice squad, something like that. Yeah. Right. So who are you going to put on the roster in that situation? Maybe maybe that spot is for the drafted wide receiver that they get this year in the draft. But it's going to be interesting to watch, for sure, as far as, who they decide to let loose, where they put guys. Unfortunately, I think the hardest part for Keon Coleman continuing to be a Buffalo Bill is Khalil Shakir is in the way.
And he shouldn't be. That's the thing about it. When T-Mo was talking, Shakir is a diamond in the rough. He's bona fide to set in third. You talking about Shaver, but Shakir is as well. They signed him to a number 2 receiver contract, but they don't let him do the things number 2 receivers do. Also, they don't let him be a number 2. He's a number 1. And he's out there fighting for his life every game. I mean, you figure 75% of his yards, and it's not even hyperbole, are yak yards. He's getting the ball behind the line, and how many times have you seen him break a tackle, spin off this, jump off that, bang off that, and then 12 yards down the field, he's pushed out of bounds. The man is working his tail off. Shakir is somebody that you should feel comfortable putting anywhere on the field and expecting him to do some work. He can run routes. He can go get the ball. He's got sure hands. He's good with the ball in his hands. Period. Like, do more with him than what you've been doing. And I challenge him to do so. Keon Coleman could slot right into that Gabe Davis role if you got Shakir in a fashion like you had with Gabe Davis and Cole Bishop, because Shakir could be a Bishop, and then you have Coleman, who could be the Gabe Davis. Because that 1 year where they were together, that's when you were like, oh, Mr. Toe. I used to call him Mr. Toe Tap. People called him Big Game Gabe. All this stuff. Where did it come from? It came as a byproduct of what Cole Bishop was doing for him. When they're looking at this guy in the slot, nobody's caring about the slot as a lay fan. They're like, oh, the 2 guys outside, they make all the big plays. No, it's that guy right there, that little number 10, little pipsqueak right there. Mm-hmm. That's the one that did all the work. Not 14. 14 and 10 did all the work. And then Gabe Davis was a benefactor of that. Yep. And he took advantage of it. See, that's the part I don't give him enough credit for. I don't think he's a great wide receiver as a number 2, but I will say he took advantage of the role and took advantage of the opportunity when he got the ball in his vicinity, which got him some money in Jacksonville, which he decided he didn't want to be there anymore as soon as he got there.
Laura said, if we don't get an elite wide receiver, or at least a really good one, fans are going to mutiny. I don't want to hear that all season long. Laura does not like bad vibes at all. I gotta say, I get it.
Yeah.
Roy says, I don't know if I would call Shakir a diamond in the rough. Most draft analysts were surprised he was still on the board in the 5th round.
Yeah, they had him in the 4th, late 3rd, but when you look at what Shakir does now, even in the role that he's fitting, that's a 2nd round talent. That is a 2nd round talent. He's a diamond in the rough. He's untapped. Luckily, we kept him. Now, hopefully, we find somebody that can tap into his real potential. We're 4 or 5 years in now with him, and we still haven't seen anywhere near his ceiling.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I think works in Coleman's benefit is he's not costing much.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be on the roster. He'll get his opportunities. He may just end up being one of those goal line type of guys, mm-hmm. where you get down in the red zone, he comes in the game. He's a good blocker, and he's a jump ball guy, and he just becomes a situational receiver until he can develop his skill set a little bit better. The other part of this, though, if you're going to play Keon Coleman on the outside, is you have to allow him to run some of the routes that he's good at. You got to let him run posts. You got to let him run deep digs. You got to let him run comebacks. You got to let him run routes that big receivers with not a ton of mobility can run.
Yeah.
Alshon Jeffrey was not running a bunch of, shake a guy off and bust, break off, 2 yards of separation type of routes. He wasn't running whip routes. He wasn't running, what else? I can't think of another route that a big receiver, would struggle to run other than, those whip type of routes. But anything that a big receiver is going to run is not going to create a bunch of separation. Mm-hmm. But body position is a huge thing for a big receiver, and routes like a post route, a skinny post, your dig routes, your comeback routes, where you can wall a guy off and open up to the quarterback. That's huge for a guy like Keon Coleman.
Yeah, I mean, they got lazy with Keon Coleman. They bought into the hype, and they didn't do their own research, it seems. The fade routes, the constant fade routes, the constant jump balls. in college. That's not his game. I don't care what anybody says. It's proven that is not. You can look at highlights. Yeah, they show that all the time. But guess what? It's the same. That same one catch over the middle where he went up and got it with one hand. How many times have you seen that play? Because there's nothing else.
Right.
There's a reason why they keep showing you the same play. He's a decent receiver. He's learning. He's raw. You can tell that when you watch him run routes. He got better from when he was a rookie and everybody made fun of him, including myself, for the aloofness of which he came out of his breaks. You see him getting a little better, but that's what you need. Get a little better every day you go out there. And this is my thing. I started tasking myself at the end of the day. I asked myself, how did you win today? That's what I asked myself. How did you win today? Because if you win today, that means you're going to get better. You don't just go through life and say, you know what? It's cool.
Right.
I'm breathing. It's cool. Thank God. Yep. I said my prayers. No. How did you win today?
Yeah.
And if you have somebody that has that mentality that says, you know what, I wasn't good enough today. I gotta win tomorrow. Then I'll win this week. Then I'll win this month. Then this year I won. Then I have 1,000 yards. That's how this works. I said when they drafted Keon Coleman, I said, it's cool. He's a red zone threat, but how the fuck are we getting there? I was pissed. Not because I thought he sucked, but I'm like, this isn't the piece we needed.
They are who we thought they were.
Exactly. He's a red zone threat. Good. We have nobody's gonna get us there.
Right. Derek says, do you see Davis being used more next year? He was the power back that we never used. Him coming into the year having lost like 15 pounds was a huge mistake.
It's funny because in my mock draft, I actually drafted a 7th round running back. He's like 5'9", 225 out of Virginia Tech. Tyrion Stewart, I believe his name is. And I don't know that I see Ray Davis actually being a power back on this club. He's going to be on the club. He's going to get playing time. I don't think he's going to be the power back that we thought he was going to be coming out.
Okay. I never saw him as a power back.
Yeah.
Like his run style, like he puts his head down and stuff like that, but you don't see him with a ton of contact balance. You don't really see him trucking guys and stuff like that. Like he's like that Frank Gore style of back, the one cut power run guy. Yep. You know what I mean? Just get up field and you know, there's
forward.
That and you know he doesn't even do what Fred Jackson used to do, getting skinny in the hole. You know what I mean? Like he's a smaller, compact guy. He gets low. He uses his leverage to always fall forward, as you just said, and that's his forte. Cool. He can do some damage in the NFL, right? But that's not damage that nobody else in the NFL can do, right? And I think when we're thinking of guys that can complement this team, part of the reason I wanted A.J. Dillon so bad to pair with James Cook is you got your James Cook that is, you know, making people miss and jump cutting all over the place and taking it to the house. And then once you get to the fourth quarter, you need to be able to punch the defense in the face multiple times.
I just want him because I want a thigh doctor to tell him his thighs were inadequate. I would challenge him to do that. Your thighs are inadequate, AJ.
A.J. Dillon got some serious thunder thighs, bro. Like that dude.
And thigh doctor like, it's all right.
Of course he would. Of course. He can't do the thigh dance. I don't like him.
Don't like him.
He ain't winning.
He ain't loose. Keanu, if he gets a chance, things may blossom this year. Yeah. What else we have? Be honest, though, do you think Keanu has been treated unfairly by the fan base? Yeah. Yeah. Why though, J Ham? The reason why is because they listened to the hype and didn't do their own research. Roy has a stat in there, and I'm not sure which way you're going with that, but yeah, you're correct. A 30%-ish, I think it's like 27% jump ball win rate. 27% for a basketball player, a box out artist, somebody that goes and gets it. He has no speed, but he's going to go win the 50-50 balls. 30%, that doesn't win it for me. That doesn't get me excited about anything. You know, it's true.
Yeah, Roy said, correct me if I'm wrong, but in college, Keon's win percentage for jump balls is around 30%.
Yeah, I think it was about 27% to be honest. But yeah, 30%. Yeah.
Getting so technical with it. Yeah,
well, you know, because Roy, you got to be. Because if I say 28%, he be like, you mean 28.2, and they'll do this thing here. Wait, he did. Hold on. Right. I'm going to show you. This is the thing that he does every time he want to correct you somewhere.
The little thinking face?
You see the little face?
Yeah.
The little thinking face?
No.
That's
it doesn't sound great, right?
You're off by a percentage point.
Oh, what's the other one here? All right, so oh shoot, I took it off. Here it is.
Yeah.
All right. Tabonius Lex says, I feel like Keon could run Brandon Marshall type routes. Am I wrong? I think what was Brandon Marshall's 40 time? I feel like Brandon Marshall was faster than Keon Coleman. I mean, Keon ran a 4.6, but he plays 4.5. It's 27.3%. Damn it. Let me see. Brandon Marshall.
Like a 4 or 5, I think he was.
I think so too. What was it? Yeah, 4.52. Okay, so.
Oh, no, now you're doing it?
What?
4.52, 4.5 in a row. That would have worked.
Okay, so I'll say this. Brandon Marshall's build, he came into the league thicker than Keon did. Like Keon had to put on 10 pounds to be where he's at, right? You know, here's the other thing with that too. And I think I don't really remember hearing anybody talk about this. When a player like Keon, who is used to using his athleticism as his advantage, has to put on more weight, you still have to get used to playing at that weight as well. That is not easy to do, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're sitting here talking about what we're going to do with Ed Oliver, and people think we can just put him on the defensive line and put some weight on him. No. He's still got to learn how to play with that weight. He's still got to learn how to do all of the stuff that he used to be able to do when he was lighter with that additional weight. That doesn't always translate for every player. On top of that, more times than not, it could lead to injury.
And honestly, I mean, that's your point. But honestly, anybody that wants to put weight on Ed Oliver, you don't have to. Just leave him how he is. He's fine. He'll be fine at that position.
So my point in that is Keon Coleman putting on the weight that he did and then coming into the season being asked to do, frankly, in my opinion, less in terms of route running than he was asked to do the year before, but just do it at a higher clip against better competition because everybody looked at this roster and didn't see a number one and said, well, they want to try to get Keon Coleman involved. Let's just take him out, cover the middle, because that's where Shakir and Kincaid are going to be. And all we have to worry about after that is shooting their bubble screens. That's it. It was very easy to guard this defense, right? But a part of that is Keon Coleman being in a position where he just put on all this weight. And I'm not making excuses for the kid, but I'm trying to say it's what he's doing to develop is not easy. What he had to endure his first 2 seasons under Sean McDermott was not easy. And I pray that he gets a real opportunity to showcase what he can really do in an offense that is more suited to his skill set that allows him to do what he knows he can do.
Yeah. And I mean, this is the thing, too. You got to think about, people talk about him being benched this and third, but I bet you most teams wouldn't have benched him for whatever he did. But that goes in McDermott trying to instill culture in young guys. That was his thing. You can't knock him for that now when that's what he came into Buffalo saying he was going to do. Let's go back to his first year when Marcelo Darius got sent back home from, I believe it was Jacksonville, because he was late to the bus. He didn't make it to the stadium on time. McDermott didn't just send him back to the hotel. He sent him back to Buffalo. And this is his first year on a guy that he just signed to a big contract. Yeah. So, fast forward to Keon Coleman, I'm going to have you for at least 4 years. Come on, son, get it together.
Right.
Tough love. And that's what that is. It's not really an indictment on Keon Coleman because it's late to a meeting. How many of you guys have been late to a meeting? I can't be late. I can't be on time to the show. Aramis will send me back home. I can't be late. I can't be on time to a meeting. No, it ain't true. I'd never be on the show. But I've been late to meetings at work countless times. They don't send me home. But guess what? What if I had somebody that did that? Tom Coughlin finding Michael Strahan $15,000 for me late to his meeting. Michael freaking Strahan. This is what they instill, and this is what the expectations they expect across the board. So let's not condemn Keon Coleman, call him an idiot and a dummy, this, that, and third, because he didn't have that at Florida State, maybe. Yeah. He didn't have that at Opelousas, Louisiana, maybe. But now you come to Buffalo, you got a guy who has a winning culture, a guy that is serious about his team, and what he wants to instill in them, it doesn't really mean Keon Coleman's a bad guy. And I want people to remember that.
Yep. Derek says Marshall definitely played faster than Coleman. J Ham says, I agree. I think the Cam Newton making him a meme this year, plus the revolving problem around receiver in general, made the fan base hate him because it felt like he was embarrassing the fans plus organization. I think so. That's the biggest thing to me. For me, the reason I care the way that I care is because I'm more concerned about the embarrassment to the city that supports this team, right? If we continue to support a team that continues to think, well, we just got a kick at the door and we got a shot every year, and we get to the end of Josh Allen's career and he has no Super Bowls, we're going to get laughed at just as much as we were when we got to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all of them. And we stand proud saying no other team has been able to get to 4 Super Bowls. And the punchline to that is always, yeah, and lose them.
Right. Even if we win, we're still going to be the team that's just never done it before.
Right. And so for me, when and this goes all the way back to not just to Sean McDermott, but to Doug Marrone, to Rex Ryan, to every other coach that we've had. All of this is about the face of the city for me. Like, I support this team. So if I'm wearing the paraphernalia, I don't want to get laughed at for wearing this hat. I don't want to get laughed at for sporting the colors and sporting the jerseys and going to a bar and somebody saying go Bills and I say it back and somebody else starts chuckling.
These clowns.
Fans. Right. Look at these idiots. Like, I want to be able to walk into a bar like a Seahawks fan and people be like y'all defense is crazy this year. Like, I hate when I'm driving Uber or something like that and I'm talking to a Kansas City fan or I'm talking to an Eagles fan because they got it, man. They got it and they know they got it. And their bar is so much higher than ours. Why? Because they've been to Super Bowls and won multiples. Right? They know what that feels like already. They like, it's happened for them. The Bills have never won one. Never. I could understand if we won one back in the 60s or something like that, or the 70s, and we just got, we're trying to return to grace, because then we could come from a point of pride, like, man, y'all, in the 70s, y'all dominated. Yeah. We trying to get back there. For the Patriots, man, y'all had that 20-year run, man. We trying to get back there, right?
Yep.
So when I talk about Sean McDermott the way that I do, I'm talking about Sean McDermott from the standpoint of, you making all these decisions that nobody understands. Nobody knows why on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, whatever in that Broncos game, you back everybody off and you trust your defensive line that has not gotten more than 10 sacks almost the entire season. You trust them to get pressure at that point in time against a mobile quarterback? It don't make sense.
Right.
Like, why do you continue to think that this nickel defense is going to stop the run, is going to put you in a better position in the playoffs to be successful? Why you think giving up 30 points a game in the playoffs is going to continue to make you, like, all of this stuff that surrounded around decisions that McDermott made is like, you embarrassing us, bro. That's the problem to me. That's why I got so bent out of shape about it. It was never, I just hate to look at his face or nothing like that. It's like, and I remember talking about this with you. Like, I used to praise Sean McDermott. Matter of fact, when we first got hired, what was one of the first things I said? I said, oh, he hired a lot of older coaches. That's smart.
Yep.
I praised him for it.
That's great because I hate this.
Right. Neither one of us liked it.
No.
But we looked at the hires he was putting around himself like, oh, he got guys that's been there before.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. He playing it smart. He know what you know what? Let's sit back and watch what happens. You know what I'm saying? And then we broke the drought. And I shed a tear for that, bro. I was proud of it, right? At the time.
Yeah, you cursed me out for that damn near.
Why?
Because I was like, man, I hate this. I was so pissed off because I'm like, we going to go first. We going to get destroyed. We don't supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be there. We didn't deserve it.
I don't give a damn, Keyshawn. We there. We made it.
Now, look at how the roles have changed now. I mean, honestly, when we broke it, I'm like, I felt so embarrassed and ridiculed by watching my team, watching a TV in the locker room, hoping that something happened that allowed us to get to a game.
Yeah.
It pissed me off because, like, I don't want to be that team. It's like, I didn't want that. They're talking about we're not going to let the guys watch the score. We don't want the score in the game because we don't want the guys. I don't want that.
Yeah.
See, for the last couple of years, like to Boo's point, I like this. Like, Week 17, should we sit him? Week 18, should we sit him? Yeah, let's sit him. I don't care. We ain't got nothing to play. We can't get number 1, but we're in the playoffs. You know, I like that. But then I think to bridge you and Vu is now how do we get over that divisional round?
Yep.
How do we get over the AOC championship? How do we get to the bowl? Because I think we're good.
I think we just died.
We just died?
Chat, let me know if you can still see us, but I'm not getting anything.
Oh.
We gone?
Yeah, we just got another comment. I think we good.
They can't see me?
Maybe it's just my computer bugging out.
I hope so, because I just made a
Yeah.
good point. That was a W point.
Yeah, that was a very good point.
And I can't bring it back.
No, I think we're good. I think we're
I think we're good. Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
I see myself.
Okay,
Good.
beautiful.
Whoo!
I know. The look on your heart pumping, boy.
Yeah, I lost the monitor, but keep going.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so, yeah, we do. Thank you, Nate. Thank you. We got it working well. That's all Dan though, for real. That is all Dan. Laura says, I got laughed at about the Bills practically my whole life. Been much better post drought though.
I can take it even a step further than that. Remember all the football commercials where the team that got pelted was always wearing red, white, and blue, but he didn't have the Bills. But it was you was like, that's us. Yep, that's us.
Yep.
This is generic teams getting pelted. That's us. We're the Washington Generals. We're the freaking Washington. Like, oh god,
Yep.
You know we're gonna lose to the Harlem Globetrotters. Why are we here? And then now, you know, it's almost like I believe when McDermott said that what was it, the kid that walked up and said whatever they said, he was embarrassed. I believed him for that. Now, what I give him credit for is I don't think he ever really lied. I think he just he wasn't equipped. What he did was what he thought was going to get us over the hump.
Yep.
To a T, he had no agenda. He's like, this is going to work because I see now we should have got an analytics guy. We should have got John Perry. This is what we do. I suck at challenges. Let me get a guy that can give me one more challenge a year.
Yeah.
You know, and in his foresight, it was a very slow process. It was going to lead us nowhere because Josh is going to be 46 years old. James Cook was going to be like, yo, I'm smiling. I'm on TV. I'm out of here. And then Snowman's going to be like, yo, what about it? Like, no, you got to go home, dog. You're like 50. Get out of here. You know, so, I mean, that's the pace that they were moving to. So we had to make the move. And like I said, with Vu, I didn't cheer for McDermott being fired. I hated they fired him. I wish it would have been Tomlin where they both mutually said, you know what? We can't do this. But why would I give Pagula that much credit?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like he's there, he's gone, but now we got these two dudes. The one guy that ruined our offense year in and year out. The one guy that Josh Allen doesn't understand is getting him killed every freaking game he's playing in.
Yeah.
And the owner that's just like, you know what? I hate everybody, and I can get rid of you if I want to. It's a clown show. And that first press conference told me everything I need to know about what they really were without the guy that was masking everything.
Okay. I'm struggling to accept masking everything, but
Well,
I'll
put it like this: before McDermott left, did you ever think Pagula was going to say something that dumb? Did you ever think you would hear? Did you ever think you would hear us being dragged across all national media for the press and Shannon Sharp and Acho and all these guys calling Pagula an idiot? Willie McGinnis, that was a B move.
You could say it.
Well, I mean, we've had a lot of there. I said, but I mean, it's so easy to get the same message out there.
Yeah.
But think before you speak.
I think that was the issue I had with Pagula. Like when you go back and you watch his press conference, you know, when he bought the team.
Yeah.
And he talked about, you know, winning multiple championships. Like, bro, we ain't seen the playoffs in millions of years, bro. What are you talking about championships for?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just tell us you're gonna find us. You're gonna just be real. You know what I mean? But and I get, you know, these guys, these big wigs, like they're never going to just speak with levity. They're never going to just be real with us. I get that, but I'd rather you just not say anything at all. Just, you know, I'm very pleased to, you know, be the owner of this team. I love, you know, everything that I'm learning about the city. Like there's ways to kind of just be upfront without having to embellish. And I feel like when Terry Pagula got here, he embellished. The whole being choked up when he bought the team and all that kind of, like, I don't need all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to connect with you emotionally. That'll happen once I see you doing what you're here to do. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's where I kind of fell off with McDermott, because I connected emotionally with breaking the drought. I connected emotionally with the team that was in that locker room watching and cheering and watching Kyle Williams holding his son and all that kind of, like, that mattered to me. I was proud as a Bills, like, because there were so many years where we were on the bubble and needed help and didn't get it. So this was the year that we needed help and we finally got it. I didn't care.
I'll be telling Laura I'm the hired ass.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, none of this matters at all. I'm like,
right,
you know.
because you knew what was going to happen the following week, right? And that's fair, because and you were right. You were absolutely right. But I think where the shift came in was the totalitarianism of Sean McDermott's approach. Before we had heard about the Tyler Dunn report, before any of that stuff, you started I didn't understand the roster surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I
hated it.
Me too. Because at that point, you were just in the playoffs. You were just in the playoffs, right? Okay, what's the next thing you're supposed to do? Get to an AFC championship.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next step.
Yep.
Or you know what? We don't even have to go that far. Next step from there is win a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got to the playoffs, lost. Just go win a playoff game the next season. No, we're not even concerned about doing that. We're going to get rid of the quarterback that helped us get there. We're going to get rid of all of the big contracts that we had. We're going to trade Sammy Watkins away. We're going to trade Marcel Darius away. We're going to let Ronald Darby go. We're going to get rid of all the guys that helped us get to that bubble that the Bengals got us over the hump on. And we're going to say, screw you guys. We're going to take a step back this season because we like the idea of roster surgery. We want to build a culture. Why couldn't you? You don't think Mike Vrabel did that in year one with the Patriots? He brought in a bunch of free agents and really didn't get rid of a ton of guys on that team.
That's why I said the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson thing. If you are doing away with the old regime, one thought, culture over everything, then Gardner-Johnson is the best safety out there you could get for this defense coming up. Do you want to deal with the headaches? Are you equipped to deal with the headaches? That shows me something. If they go for him and don't get him, fine, go for him. But I don't want no lob of an offer. Make a hard offer to this guy. He says, I don't want to go to Buffalo. It's cold. You guys suck. I don't know the defense. I'm out of here. Okay, cool. You disrespected us. We tried it. Like Antonio Brown. He said, I'm not coming to Buffalo. Put it in your pipe and smoke it. Okay, cool. We'll just go get Steph Diggs and the rest is history.
Yep. Walter says, I'm over the moral victories of another season not winning a Super Bowl. We're literally the best franchise to never do it. Yeah, and that can't stand. And I think that's what makes where we are now with the salary cap, the roster, and the state of the franchise's front office is so frustrating, because you know what this is? It's roster surgery all over again.
Yep.
That's exactly what this is. If you think about what happened during the 2018 season for roster surgery, you were already good and you decided to take a step backwards so that you can try to take 2 steps forward the following season.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, cool. The time to do that, though, was not right after you just got to an AFC title game the year before.
Right.
And then after that, you decide you're going to put your head coach on final notice for the season if he doesn't make it to the Super Bowl this year with no help at all. Like we're gonna kind of help him. We're gonna go, keep Darius Slay from getting over to Philly. We're gonna try to make it seem like we're trying to get a wide receiver in the building, but only if we don't have to do too much to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're going to do all these very small, subtle moves to try and help our head coach achieve the goal, right? Without actually helping him achieve the goal. And then when he doesn't do it, it's all his fault. He was a power trip guy. He the atmosphere that he created. And not that any of this stuff was wrong, but it was the wrong time to bring it about. It was the wrong time to address the situation in my eyes, because you had gone from an AFC title appearance in 2020 to 5 years later being right back in it in a year where you had told people that you were planning to take a step back.
Right.
You told people it was going to be a transition year, AFC championship game. You ain't got no choice at that point.
Right.
Make the adjustment, get better, get right back there the following season.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have anything in your way. These teams get notified about their schedules very early. When we get the notification, it's after the team has already been notified.
Mm-hmm.
It just gets published shortly after the team finds out about it by the team.
Right.
So we know how early we get the teams that we're going to face the following season, which tells us what? The teams know before we do what their next season is going to look like. So they know how easy their schedule is going to be or not be. I'm saying that to say the Bills knew what they were going to have to do to prepare for this year's 2025's, the year that was. They knew what they were going to have to do to prepare for this season. They knew what they weren't going to have to do to prepare for this season.
Mm-hmm.
And they went into this season with no number one wide receiver and thought, it's an easy enough schedule. We'll be all right.
And this is my point about that. When you think about what you said, people will say, well, you don't know what the other teams are doing. Well, you got to do self-inventory. You got to self-scout.
Thank you.
Where are we deficient at? If we played against air, where are we deficient? If we play against ourselves, where are we deficient? And that's the first step in figuring out what the strengths and weaknesses of your respective side of the ball. You don't have to play against a team to figure that out. When McDermott was going into the regular season not knowing what his 5-man lineup was on the offensive line, that's a problem, and I called that out. When you don't know if DeMar Hamlin's going to be starting with Cole Bishop, well, that's a problem. We should know that by now. And Laura said that I don't know how she said it, but C.J. Garner Johnson, or however she said it, got kicked off of multiple teams. That's a red flag. No, Laura. He is a red flag. Just him. He's a red flag. Right. And he knows it. So it's not even a couple of them. He is a big red flag, but that's my point. Somebody took Pac-Man Jones for how many years?
Yeah.
Because he's an excellent ball player.
Yep.
One of the Bills going to say, you know what? We need excellent ball players. We need guys that, they aren't going to go to jail for too long. Mm-hmm. We might need a Dennis Rodman that we don't know where he is Monday through Saturday, but on Sunday we know he's going to show up.
Case in point, Rashee Rice.
Yes.
A domestic violence allegation against him now.
Yep.
Like this is the second instance of legal activity with him in the past year, right? And this guy was a second-round pick for the Chiefs. I would take Rashee Rice in a heartbeat to come and play here. Because you know why? This domestic violence thing, it's going to go away. You know how I know that? Because for 90%, 95%, everybody not named who's the running back
Ray
that
Rice.
kicked it? No, not named Ray Rice, and then who's the other guy that played for the Chiefs that kicked the girl?
Was that Charles?
No, it wasn't Charles. It was he
was that was Hunt?
Yeah,
Hunt.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two guys, because it was caught on video.
Mm-hmm.
Von Miller was here and had a domestic violence thing. How long did that last? He still made $100 million.
I told people I wasn't going to go anywhere.
Diggs had one this year and didn't even get penalized.
Yeah,
they held off his court hearing until after the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and I'm not trying to disrespect DV cases. What I'm trying to say is, I think we put a little bit too much emphasis on what I'm about to touch on covers this. We put a bit too much emphasis on culture,
mm-hmm.
right? Because to this question, you guys think we lost the culture once McD left, or does Brady create another one, or continues with the old one? The culture is not going to change. What is going to change is the day-to-day atmosphere. That's the only thing that they really wanted to change. So that was part of the reason why when I landed on these picks for free agency signings and all that kind of stuff, I had to keep all that stuff in mind, because it really comes down to what the owner wants. The owner doesn't want a different culture. He doesn't want different players. He wants all the same stuff, just a better atmosphere.
Yep.
And everything about Joe Brady is high energy, positive atmosphere. Everybody loves having him around. He comes into a room, he brightens it up. You hear him talk about Joe Brady like that all the time, right? That's all they wanted. So what does that tell you? not much else is going to change about the types of players that we get here. They're going to continue to try to find the good old boys. They're going to continue to try to find the B-level players that they can try and squeeze a little bit of extra juice out of and maybe get them to an A-. Right. That's going to be their continuous approach. Why? Not just because of what Mike Giannetti said about that stat about teams that make the Super Bowl don't have the top paid players, but also because it fits the narrative that the owner wants in the building. Mm-hmm. So all this hoopla about Max Crosby and Myles Garrett and we're completely missing the largest piece of signage in the building, which is your owner has already showed you what he wants.
Right.
He's already told you what he prefers. He's already shown you through his actions and who he's fired and who he's kept what he thinks is the right approach. Until he's forced to change, he won't change. And it took him 9 years just to get to this point with Sean McDermott. So how much longer is it going to take? And that's why I try to tell people we are going to end up in a situation where Josh Allen is at the end of his career, and Joe Brady has shown in 5 years that he couldn't get it done. And so Joe Brady's going to get fired. Brandon Beane's going to get fired. At that point in time, I think Pegula will feel that it's time to just clean house, get a new GM, get a new head coach, and let's try to just put a team around Josh Allen that can carry him to a championship. And we're going to watch Josh Allen do it the same way that John Elway did. That's how it's going to happen. Because right now, they still believe that Josh Allen is the great eraser, even if Sean McDermott is not here saying it.
Right. Yep.
You think Terry actually cares enough to do something like that in the future, or do you think it ends up being more like Detroit, where he lets Allen walk?
No, I think with what Terry said in the press conference, he's built this new iteration of the Bills to be very Josh centric. Right? He got, and Nico said, "Don't put that into the universe." I'm sorry, bro. It's just what I see. It's just what I see. I mean, I kind of like I started calling a lot of this stuff out with Sean McDermott before the Sean McDermott report came out. Like you and I had done a ton of research on Sean McDermott. Like we were going hard on all of the front office. You were going hard on Beane. I was going hard on McDermott, and we were pulling out all these different stats and things that we found out and learned about Beane and Sean at the time. Like we can see this stuff coming now because we know the team so well. Mm-hmm. So I apologize if it seems like I'm prophesying in a negative way, but I don't see much that really and I'm not trying to take anybody's hope away, but to answer your question, Dan, I think damn it, I just lost my train of thought. Can you ask the question one more time?
Oh, I was just saying if you think Terry would pull a Detroit and let Josh Allen go to another team.
Yeah, so no, I think what Terry's done is make create a situation that's very Josh centric, like I said. And when you look at the head coach that was hired, when you look at everything that they've said, and the reason more specifically why Terry Pegula, because Terry Pegula listed Josh Allen's demeanor as one of two reasons why Sean McDermott was fired. Mm-hmm. If that's where we're at, where the owner is using Josh Allen crying as one of the justifications for firing a head coach, you best believe Josh ain't going nowhere. This whole thing is going to be about what Josh wants from here on out. Right. And Terry is going to try to still have, his cake and eat it too, while giving Josh what he, the atmosphere he wants, the players around him that he likes and all that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of this is going to become very Josh-centric. Josh is going to play his entire career out here. That's the kind of guy that Terry is.
Let's see. We had a question up here.
We had a bunch of questions. We went on some I went on a couple of long.
It's all right. Matter of fact, you want to hit what questions did you see? I got a couple more minutes, so I was like, that's what I was.
Go for it, bro. Whatever you got.
All right, whatever you got. Your questions you got.
Okay, so I had all right, let's touch on this, because I'm tired of hearing about this too. Stop prognosticating Mike Evans to this team. If I have to watch a full season of us relying on a 30-year-old wide receiver that was never a speed guy, that was never a separator, come in here and be the number one, just put the ball in Keon Coleman's hands then if you're going to do that.
This is the only thought I have on that. If you really want to build the offense around Josh Allen, you don't get it. You don't get anybody that resembles Mike Evans, because Josh Allen doesn't work good with guys that don't separate. He works good with guys that are separated. He sees it. I'm firing it in there. I need, he has to see somebody that's just got a green grass ahead of him. He's not really somebody that wants to throw a tight window ball. He has to see it, trust it, then throw. We've seen that. That's why he throws late and hard, because he's built to do that. He's not an anticipation thrower. He's not a rhythm thrower. He has to see it first. So when you have a Mike Evans, you have a Keon Coleman, Alshon Jeffrey, your guy, those kind of guys, Hopkins, those kind of guys, even A.J. Brown, they're physical guys. And Josh is like, I know he'll probably be open, but I'm sure Shakir's going to be open in the tunnel screen anyway. So let me just throw it over here. So right. That's the knock on all the big guys, even Keon Coleman, even Gabe Davis, even all those guys. He needs guys that are shifty, can get there, and he has to trust it. What else did you see?
Can I chime in on that?
Sure.
Real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I love Mike Evans. I don't think, one, at this point in his career, he's a number one anymore.
I agree.
And two, he's starting to rack up a lot of injuries. And three, I don't see him moving on from Tampa unless they literally say, we will not sign you even for a minimum, because he loves that city and they love him. I lived outside of Tampa for a while. I have some Bucks fan friends, and that guy is close with the city. I don't see him going anywhere else unless they force him out.
Yep, I agree. I think that's real. I think that's right. There was actually there was a report that I saw that something to the effect of he wants to be back, or he's in talks to go back or something like that. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, just take him off the board, because every single time he's had an opportunity to get out, he wants to stay.
Yep.
I mean, why the heck would you want to leave freaking Tampa Bay? You know what I'm saying?
They ain't got buffalo wings and beef on wet.
And he does a lot in the community there. He's super connected.
Yeah, he's not going to leave there to come to Buffalo. Just and no disrespect to our situation, but he's not going to leave the most favorable position he can possibly have, with the franchise that he's spent. Obviously, playing with the same franchise and, being a part of that city has been huge for him, because he's been there 10 straight seasons. And every season that he's there, he's put up 1,000 yards. I think until this year. I don't think he did it this year.
No, he was injured too long.
Right. But with all that, he's got a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a shot in the NFC, so it's not like it's injuries is what killed him this season. Godwin was hurt, and then Mike Evans got hurt after that, and then the rookie that you freaking had on your fantasy football team that I was pissed off at you for drafting in the first place, because I wanted him. Yep. He freaking went off and destroyed the league for the first half of the season, and then he hit the rookie wall.
That's it.
But yeah, so I don't think he's coming here. I don't want to see it.
And I don't need him.
Also, I was going to touch on iRoll-Up already hit it though. Taxes are a big thing, because he's spent his whole career not paying income tax in Florida. You come to Buffalo, you paying a pricey income tax here.
Yep, we taking half.
I want to hit on this question before we go. Sandra L. King asked, did they even ask if Slay wanted to play for Buffalo? That's where they went wrong. No. Where they went wrong, they didn't ask him if he wanted some Ree's tea. That's where they went wrong. They didn't say, have you heard? Did you hear the news that Ree's tea is delicious, refreshing, and it's healthy? And I don't know how much you like in your drink, but it's only 4 ingredients. 4 ingredients. One of them is water. The best water you can get. Damaris, text in the mail. What you're doing, head over to Reed's Tea, get yourself a case or an individual. Get yourself a case and individual, because we don't do or anymore. Or doesn't exist on this show. So what I want you to do is go over there. You'll see the price. Don't worry about it. Pay it. You won't be disappointed. The product is worth every penny. Go over to Reed's Tea. Get yourself to the gas station. Get yourself to any participating vendor of Reed's Tea. Tell them, I got to have the juice. Tell them PPP sent you, though.
Put eye roll-up's comment up there.
This one? Oh.
You know who we
Here?
could trade for? Reed's Tea.
Oh, wait. I'm way off. I am way off. Here it is. You know, yeah. I want to be. I don't want Godwin. I don't want Godwin. Godwin's a slot now. He's a 6'3" slot.
He might be more injury prone than Evans at this point. Every year he's missing a lot of time.
Yo, Vu calling everybody out.
This ain't soda, Sosa water.
You drinking canned soda.
I don't have my water bottle
tea.
today.
You drinking canned soda. What you doing over there talking about some Reed's tea? All right, you got to get out of here. 7:31. Let's get it started.
As they see me start to panic.
I know. See him wrapping cords around his hands real quick. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Listen, I really appreciate the love. We got to get them thumbs up. If you have not done so already, please give us a like. Please give us a subscribe. And if you have not done this already, what are you waiting for? Hit that bell. Make that thing.
Ring like a lane.
So that you can get notifications when we send notifications. We will be right back at you Monday live, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Make sure you stay tuned for a lot of big stuff coming up. We don't have time to get into all of that, so I'll get us out of here. All right, listen, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys on Monday. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth, No Sodium Takes. For our producer, Smitty on the ones and twos, I am your co-host, Aramis.
40 keys.
All right, y'all have a great night. Peace.